Okay, just bought a jumbo transit header diesel heater inside. Had quite a complicated wiring setup, which I've taken it all apart now. It is a Eberspacher, if I'm pronouncing that right, and it is a D4WSC. So I think it's quite an old heater. But anyway, so couldn't get it to work inside the van, as it was quite a complicated wiring setup. So taking it all out of the van now to see if it works, and just set up on a bit of wood here, just see if it's working, and it is actually working absolutely fine. Spoke to Eberspacher today, and don't know if I'm pronouncing that right again, and asked them about the wiring on it, and the guy gave me said it's extremely complicated to wire up, and he advised just to test it, just wire up from the main harness. So I have, off the main harness, the brown is going to the negative pole of the 12-volt battery, and the red and the yellow connected into that Wago there and across over to the positive terminal. And it's been running here for the last hour and a half, heating the water in the header tank through the flow and the return of the diesel heater. Got a bit of tube going into a bit of diesel there. So anyway, so I guess the questions are, does anyone know what all the other terminals are there for? On the plug there. Also, if anyone has any wiring diagrams for the controller, I believe it is 701, 100 or 1003. So that particular controller has a brown, yellow, grey, red and blue connection coming out of it. Now I don't know about all these. There's rocker switches, and I guess that's a thermostat or something there. Anyway, quite a complicated wiring. Wiring harness has been extended. There's all sorts of relays and everything in line. But anyway, so going back to the actual build. Basically my idea is to have two heat exchangers, plate heat exchangers, one doing the hot water and one doing the heating. I was going to route in some copper pipes into the floor and have some underfloor heating there. So anyway, so that's the layout. I was thinking of having motorised valves there, 12-volt motorised valves. A friend of mine, a plumbing heating engineer, is saying why don't you just put a lever valve in, or just leave it running through the hot water heat exchanger. So obviously anyway, basics, flow coming out of the diesel heater, going across onto a flow on one plate heat exchanger, going round back into back into reheating. So if that valve's open, I could put lever valve there instead. Right, the cold water storage tank underneath the van into a pump, and then into one side of the heat exchanger and out and to the shower or hot tap, whatever. Obviously the flow continues on, goes into the heat exchanger again for the heating. Heats up the heat exchanger, goes back for reheating, and then right at the end I've got an automatic bypass just in case these are closed for whatever reason. Then it'll just circulate around the circuit there. I've got the header tank on the return, just a single pipe up to the header tank from the return. The underfloor heating then coming out the other side of the heat exchanger. I've got to put an expansion vessel in there and some way to two valves for filling this loop with the underfloor heating, so you can fill the loop up, this pipework. Thinking it might be copper whatever routed into the plywood floor. Yeah, so wondering what you all think about the heating controls. At the moment it's just connected straight up to 12-volt battery. Some sort of room thermostat possibly. Obviously I'm going to have a pump and an expansion vessel and the valves on the underfloor heating side here. So just wondering what you think about some sort of thermostats, and also about the way the current system's wired in. You know, because when the diesel heater is reached temperature, it shuts down, but the pump remains, so it's still pumping water through the circuit when the diesel heater's off. And then when the circuit cools down, the D4WSC is firing up again to heat the circuit up again. Now I was thinking to put 12-volt motorised valves in place there, then have 2 switches inside the cabin, one for hot water, one for heat. That's a possibility as well. So anyway, just thinking what your thoughts are, and any advice is greatly received. Thank you.